today I would be reviewing a resume for someone that is applying for a full-time job and they are a computer science major. So full disclosure, I have never reviewed a computer science major resume before, but I have reviewed many resumes, mostly in the pharmaceutical realm or engineering and things like that. So I'll try to bring some learnings from that. And then also there might be some things on here that I don't know about. So right off the bat, I like to look at the layout. I really like how this is laid out with the education at the top, and then a clear line separating projects and work experience. I will say that work experience probably should be above the projects. These projects might be school related, and typically when you're going into full-time positions, you want to show some of the other work things you've done and less school things. I still like to see education at the top because you are graduating, but that's kind of the first thing there. Next, I'll just kind of go from the top. So location, I don't think is super important unless you want to stay in that area. Phone number, I think is good to have. A personal email address is good to have. Your LinkedIn profile is good to have. I would say type out the full hyperlink of that LinkedIn profile and not just where it says LinkedIn with it linked, just in case someone prints it out. So let's go ahead and add a comment here. Okay, so that's that first comment. And then same thing with the GitHub link. I assume this is something for CS, so I'm not very familiar with that, but same principle applies. All right, then we go to education section. So I don't really like how this is. Sorry, I just saw that they were graduating in May 2025, so that's a little confusing. But we'll get to that later. So I was going to say, I don't like how this is tabbed, but it's not super annoying. The associate's degree is similar, so that's fine. Looks like the spacing is a little bit off. And also skimming it, the spacing between education and the first line is different than some of these other ones. So I would just say, just check the spacing throughout. And then also I'm going to turn on track changes. So we can go ahead and correct this is lowercase, but it should be uppercased. Salt Lake City, Utah, that's good. Bachelor of Science. So I'm going to comment here. And I think something else that can help clarify this. So up at the top, I typically like to just have general comments that they don't fit anywhere specifically. But here I want to say add an interest or objective statement to brief the reviewer on why they're reviewing your resume. So this can be different examples like seeking full-time employment to expand on skills learned in undergrad, interested, coding, and whatever. So again, I'm not super familiar with the CS realm, but having a statement like this right at the top will show the reviewer, okay, this person, is a good fit for this job or is not a good fit for the job. Another way you can kind of fill out these sections is to just take some words from the job description. And so will kind of use the job description to help tailor your resume to the job that you're applying for. So we'll keep going here where it's invalid. That's another school. I'm not sure I like the word expected. I think you can just put December 2023 and then it's assumed to be expected. I feel like you have a lot more confidence if you just list the date, because then if you say expected, then there seems to be some kind of event that could occur that you wouldn't graduate in December. So I would just leave it off, just leave December 2023 and go from there. As of note, I'm reviewing this resume on July 17th, 2023. And so December 2023 is in the future. All right, honors awards. I guess coming out of college, it would be good to have. Not sure if it fits right here with the education, but I guess it goes with that. Is this capitalized? Don't know, so I'm just going to put a question. Honor Society, National Society. Okay, same thing here. Is this a part of the name? If it is, then that should be capitalized. And then I'm taking out the period here because there are no other periods. This should definitely be capitalized. The award amount I don't think is super specific, especially to the cent, but I'll just leave it there for now. Relevant coursework, calculus 1, 2, and 3. MATLAB. So is MATLAB a course? Or that might just go under skills, under software. Yeah, it's down here under software, so I'm not sure it should be up here. Physics 1 and 2. Yeah, I was going to say this about calculus. I think this should be 1 through 3. Something like that. Instead of the numbers 1, 2, and 3, you use the Roman numerals. That's typically how courses, I think, are listed. Okay, I think that's fine. Again, the formatting here is weird. I'm going to delete the comment from there and put it as my general comments. Campus and community involvement. The formatting here is weird as well. I'm not sure why it's italicized. I'm not sure why some things are bolded. This seems like it's a different color. Is that a different color? Yeah, that was definitely a different color. So I'm just going to say check formatting. It should be consistent with the rest of the resume. Also, I think this section can move down. So I'm just going to have a general reorder sections comment up here. So I'm going to say move honors through campus involvement sections to under technical and professional proficiencies, which I think is kind of hard. Typically, I just see it as skills, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. All right, that's it for that top section. I'm not super familiar with these organizations, but I do like how the dates are there. Typically, I think the word present is still capitalized. And I think you have to do an extra space, to get that line to match that line. All right, we'll scroll down a little bit. So web development projects, personal portfolio website. So if this is the same website as above, I would just remove it / how should we do that? Okay, so I've been thinking about this. I think it's okay to have it in both places. I'm not familiar with the software development industry and what they prefer to see, if they want to see it in the same place or not. But again, type out links. And you can still hyperlink those typed out links. It's just an easier way for people that typically print out resumes. They can look it up if they want to. So design a personal portfolio website highlighting skills and passion using the latest HTML5, CSS, and Bootstrap features. Great. Not sure what that means, but that's okay. 10Dog, is that a project? Yeah, developed a replica of Tinder dating app that is responsible to mobile, tablet, and computer screen size. I don't know if saying developed a replica is like very out there because that's just basically copying someone else's work. So I said you can change the words to modular version or something that doesn't make it seem like you just copied what was already developed. Again, people want to see that you can bring something new and you can develop things on your own. Drum Kit launched an animated drum playing game responsive to the keyboard press and click. So again, this might be keywords. So a good way to kind of fill out these is using buzzwords from the job description to highlight your previous accomplishments. So if the job description says something like keyboard press and click, then definitely keep that here. But if it doesn't, maybe try to find something in the job description that aligns with exactly what you did. Dice Bets conceived a dice game that randomly generates dice flip and allows users to bet online using JavaScript, HTML. Ooh, I like this because you put exactly what... Okay, let me comment that. So I like that they put what software was used. When I review resumes, I try to leave positive comments as well so they know what I like. Other people may like different things, but I like how you incorporate your skills and your software experience within your bullet points as well. So then I would say the formatting is a little weird because it's not bulleted or using a colon. So I'm going to say either use the bullet or colon format. So the bullet format is in work experience, colon format is in the education and skills sections. All right, so that looks good. So last but not least is the work experience. So starting off, laboratory assistant, Raritan Valley Community College. That's great. That's where they are currently in school. It looks like they did it all the way up until their last semester. So that might be a question that comes up. Supervised chemistry lab experiments for students. Maybe it is just one. These parts are always tricky. I think the first one is good. Supervised chemistry lab experiments for student with disability. Prepared samples and reagents for testing according to lab policies. That's fine. Safely handled chemicals and performed complex laboratory experiment. So I would say expand on the experiment if it was only just one. Maintain a clean environment during and after the lab experiments. So it is plural. Let me add or expand on the general purpose of the experiments if it was more than one. An example here would be safely handled chemicals and performed complex laboratory experiments to teach sophomore level students basic protein purification, or whatever the experiment was for. Maybe there are different types of experiments in the software development space. I'm not sure, but I would put exactly what it was there. All right, moving down, let's see, assistant, accountant, intern. Again, here the cents aren't important. Handled up to $20K, cash deposit, regular, and money transfers. I don't think money should be capitalized. Interacted directly with customers and an emphasis on quality service. Maintain company ledger and daily financial. So I would move this one up since it has to do more with computer-based organization, which this is for a software development. So I think that's more important than handling the cash. So I said move up to first bullet since it is more applicable to software-based jobs than handling money is. And the last one says prepared weekly accounting reports to be presented to senior management. So I actually like this one a little bit better, and I said this one actually is a little stronger because it shows presentation skills and collaboration. So this should be the first bullet. But other than that, I think it's pretty good. I like to see a consistent, 4 bullets, 4 bullets. I think the power verbs could be a little stronger. I typically just go and Google those or again, look at the job description. But the work experience I think is pretty okay for an entry-level student coming right out of school. Again, here the format is off. So I'm just going to say format correctly to match the dash length above. And then last but not least, technical and professional proficiencies. So software, Microsoft Office. I love to see that. That is a skill that people in the workforce don't always have. So definitely put that on there. Google Workspace, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. All of these, not sure what they are, but I'm assuming they're pretty helpful. For this, I would say make sure they're in the order of your comfort level and be prepared to distinctly discuss a time that you've used these softwares just in case. So I'm going to add that here. So I said, be prepared to give an example of how you use these software in an interview. It might be good to incorporate them in your bullets somehow. So again, for this bullet, I like how they had it up there. So I suggest doing that with all the different softwares. Operating systems, Windows, iOS, and Linux. That sounds good. And then language says bilingual, fluent in French. So this, I would just say, just cross this out and put English, and then you put French. So you don't need to state bilingual. It's automatically assumed because you put 2 languages there. All right, so that's it for the resume review. Again, I'm not an expert on computer science resumes, but I still hope you found this helpful. And thanks for watching. As I close this out, I saw that he missed a comma there. Again, formatting, consistency.